I got 100 guns, 100 clips. Baby, I'm from New York, New York. What a time to be alive in New York, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Um, I feel very happy. I smell the optimism in the air. I feel the love. I feel community. And I pray that you do too. So, hola, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of Fana Talks, where I center our conversations on the emotional and psychological dimensions of our everyday lives. Thank you so much for tapping in with me. My name is Delaney Fana, and today, today's episode, I'm just going to be having kind of like a conversation just with myself. I don't really express how I feel or like tap into my emotions before an episode. So we're going to take it easy. How are you feeling today, Delaney? I'm feeling a bit tired, a bit more tired than usual. I have been working a lot. I have been overwhelmed. Um, and kind of on the like peak pre-burnout stage. I've been through these phases and these ebbs and flows for a little bit of some time to kind of catch on when I'm about to feel burnt out, when I'm a little more sleep deprived than usual. It all starts when I feel like I'm like ruminating a lot more than usual. And chasing your dreams is not easy, but I would not trade it for the world. It is an honor and it is a blessing be tired of to be tired when chasing your dreams or when accomplishing your dreams, not really chasing your dreams cuz it's all just coming, you know? So um I express gratitude above all else, but I get to complain a little bit because I am a bit sleepy. And I realized that it's getting a bit intense when I was working with a student of mine, an ESL student, and I remember I was reading to him and I was dozing off when I was reading to him. And he's not Spanish speaking. I'm Spanish speaking, but he's Chinese speaking. And then he did like a translation thing and he was like useless, no spirit. And I'm like, damn, like I can't have a bad day. Cuz I'm usually so like upbeat and so, like happy, but I'm just out of space now where like if I'm just not feeling it, like I'm just not going to wear that mask. And my students have been very graceful with me, alhamdulillah. Um I've been telling them like, yeah, I'm all right, but I am very tired today. So if my energy's off, my energy's a little off. They were like, "Oh, okay, miss." So that also goes hand in hand with my support system, in my community. I feel like we all kind of know about a thing or two about capacity, and I'm starting to realize what I have capacity for, what I have tolerance for, and what I don't. And it's getting a lot easier the more authentic that I'm just being with myself. And just continuously speaking my truth, that's been birthing a lot, and that's been also allowing other things to fall off and die naturally, which is just a cycle. It's just eye opening, But speaking of tolerance, today's episode I want to kind of transition into boundaries and love and how boundaries and love both mesh with one another. So I have a little pointer over here just so that I can remember what I want to touch up on. So I feel like the me in the past, because I'm 26 right now, but in my earlier 20s, because I still feel like I'm kind of like early 20s, mid 20s, um, I was very naive and I kind of wrote it off as like, oh, it's just because I have a big heart and I just love giving and I just love being there for people. And that has gotten me into many situations with entities that don't know how to really balance and reciprocate the giving and the receiving part. People take advantage, when you're that open, unfortunately. And you can be open, but still express your boundaries, still express certain things that you just don't agree with, because at some point in my early 20s, it became kind of like a people pleasing thing. And then I'd sit and ruminate and be like, damn, like, why doesn't this feel good for me though? Like, why doesn't this feel good on my end? But I'm making the other person happy. And although they're happy, they're like, la di da di da, like, I just got love from Delaney. Cause she just continuously gives and gives like a well. And once that well starts to dry up, you start to see, who has benefited from, you overextending yourself. Um, and when it turns to that point, or when it has turned to that point in the past, um, I started to see people shift. And like they say, like the rotten fruit falls off naturally. And that's where the love and the boundaries start to come in. And I say that because once you're kind of like done, or when you say no, let's say for example one time, that's when you really start to see who truly truly loves you. And one thing with me that I like to say is, love is not enough in relationships, whether that's romantic or friendship. Love, like, you could love someone like, oh, I love how you make me feel, I love being around you, yes, yes, love, like, right, like, love does conquer all. But respect, that's something different. Because if you can't respect that, no, I can't go out today, I can't, like, I just don't have the capacity, and it upsets you, then it's like, why, what are we doing here, like, there's that tug and pull of, I want to make the person happy, but I also want to ground myself. But at some point, for the past, for me, and maybe for some people, I had to really make a huge decision for myself and be like, well, I'm not going to overextend myself anymore. And you don't seem like you like that, but I respect it if you say no. So, I think that that's what love is. I think love is giving people the grace and giving people the patience, effortlessly, just to respect their boundaries and not argue about what they choose. And you don't have to over explain yourself either. That's another thing that I like kind of wrote about over here. um it's very easy, to be in a connection or in different connections with someone who respects you, because it's all just a reflection of themselves. And when I say that, I say and I mean, um self-love is all internal. We say the self-love with the face masks and the working out and the journaling, yeah, but self-love, when you're so deeply secure in yourself that, let's say, your partner doesn't want to do something that you want to do, like, you're okay. Like, it doesn't, like, there's none of that controlling and manipulative type of energy, because people are their own people. And I claim that all my connections understand that and respect that too, because everyone's experience is a bit different, everyone's capacity is a bit different. And yeah. Uh I feel like, yeah, I wrote, yeah, I feel like boundaries and love go hand in hand with another, because you will respect someone more if you have them. And they can love how agreeable you are until you're not. There's some people who are just foul, like, they just kind of benefit off of the naive beings, and them not really knowing any better. um and through my experiences, I've felt for that in the past, and then now I see kind of like a 180. Like I'm the complete opposite if I see someone still learning on their journey. I'm the complete opposite if I see someone um prone to being like attacked or something, because they're so vulnerable and because they're so, like, just new to certain experiences. I'm the type to be like, nah, like, as a friend, like, I don't think this is for you, like, and plus, like, um a lot of my friends, which I'm so grateful for, they come to me for advice. I do, you know I am a very wise woman, which I'm very grateful for. I'm still very young and still very open to learning more. But when my friends come to me, I'm so grateful that they come, because I get to see how I can, stem from my own self love and then share it with them. And I come from such a, like, loving and non-biased perspective, and it's always for the best for them. Like, I'm always like, okay, like, I'm always like thinking like, okay, this is their situation, this is what they have in mind for their goal. What's the best for them? Not the best for me, because they got nothing to do with me. They're just coming to me because they trust me. Um and then once again, that's just also feedback too. Like, they don't have to take it, but I'm just grateful that they do. Um I kind of just went on like a tangent, but hey, we flowing. um so oh, another deeper layer when it comes to boundaries and just things that we learn from other people or family members, and whichever way, I'm a firm believer that every experience is spiritual. Everything that we experience and go through is spiritual. Whether it's, a family member teaching you a specific lesson, or a coworker, or like I feel like all connections, even someone that's like that you're passing by on the street, could teach you something in a millisecond. And I feel like that was all agreed upon, like when we were, making our contracts in some shape or form. Like, oh yeah, like, this person, you're gonna meet them on this day, you're gonna teach them that, and they're gonna teach you this. They might break your heart, but it's for the best for you, because if they don't break your heart, you won't get to where you want to get to. And if they do, or if they don't, then you won't get to, it's all like a maze, and it's all about choices. And so, I'm a firm believer in that too, that like we all agree with each other, even if it's like within proximity, to elevate each other and to awaken each other in some shape or form. And we may not know it because, once we came here on earth, we're just like amnesia, like I just forgot. But there's just those certain people that feel familiar, and those certain people that, um, remind, or like the deja vu, like you have deja vu when you're with that person. It's all, like written, it's all destino. And with that also, although there are those agreements, I still believe that there's, boundaries that need to be taking place. Because I feel like once you get to a certain level in your life, you just have the non-negotiables. You just have like a one non-negotiable for me is like, oh, there's just so many. um a non-negotiable for me is, if, oh, when it comes to like my tiredness, right? So I cannot function without good sleep. And if I express that to my friends, and or whoever, and I feel like I'm expressing clearly that I don't have the capacity for it, and I'm still being pulled to like do something that I'm telling you, like, I just cannot. I'm just like, all right, like, I just gotta tap out. Like, I'm real good at detaching, real good at, I don't want to say cutting off, because love is love. There's still something there for you to learn, or for me to learn. Um, but I'm also just very clear, like, I was clear. Like, I'm clear, this is my boundary. And I've had many experiences where that has bothered people. I've had many experiences where people have gotten upset when I done said no to them, and I'm just like, I don't know, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is all being expressed out of love, not just for you, but for myself. Like, I can't show up for us in this connection if I don't rest, quite literally. And yeah, it'll just bring you more back into your truth, and if people are supposed to stay in your life after you express that, then they're for you, they really, love you for you. And if not, then that was your time. That was your contract that y'all had. And then who knows, like maybe later on in life they come back. This world is very, very crazy, very mysterious. Sometimes people go through the similar situations that y'all went through and be like, "Oh, light bulb, like I see where she was coming from, or I see where he was coming from." Um I love those type of situations too. Like they're just so super cool. Um yeah, I I wanted to say, oh, the ways of being. The ways of being in um just embodying like the love that you have for yourself, and just the respect and the boundaries that you want to give off is just in your way of being. And a lot of people think it's just in here, like in the brain, but it's, subhanallah, it's just all in the vessel. It's all about in your experiences and in the micro experiences too. Like, you low-key want to say no, but outside you say yes. Like those little situations, they're not little, like they add up until there's like something really big. And it's just all in the being. Like, as I mentioned, when I was a bit younger, I was very scared to say no at some point. Um, and you can see it in someone's body language. Like you could see like if their chest is caved in, or if they're not really like making eye contact with you when you're speaking to them. Um, but now, looking back, I give her so much grace. And inshallah, if there's someone watching this that's going through that, that's really okay. I'm so grateful that you're finding it. Well, this video, because it gets better. Like now I'm able to just say no. Like it's really okay. And no is a full sentence as well. Like there's no need to explain yourself. Um and that's, once again, only if you want to, if you feel called to. So, alhamdulillah, for, I'm just like thinking back to just how that time was. And man, that's just, it was such a beautiful transition into my womanhood. And it's still getting better. Like I'm still embodying the higher Delaney that I see myself as. And I'm super proud of myself, and if you're watching this, you should be also very proud of yourself too, because you are in proximity. And it's a learning process. Like it's not gonna be easy, but you already know when you don't like something. So that intuition, that's one way I feel like your habits can, I mean, not your habits, your boundaries can get stronger. I'm gonna name three. So one of them is listening to that intuition. Listen to your fucking intuition, man. Like, it's never gonna steer you off. And if your intuition is saying to say something, or, you know, just say it. Like, just say it. Don't hold back. Like, cause then you going to once again, like you gonna think like the woulda, shoulda, couldas, or like the if, ands, buts. Who got time for that? It will eat at my psyche at this age if I don't speak my mind. Because then we're just left with like thoughts and things that are not ours. And if you're not getting it out, then it's like, what the heck? You just never know till you communicate. But that intuition, mm, I know for sure my intuition is extremely strong. Mashallah. I'm so grateful for it. Um, Another way that I wrote down that your boundaries can get better is to stop playing small. And this can go in so many different directions. Um it kind of goes hand in hand with listening to your intuition, because I feel like when we suppress the intuition, we suppress ourselves and we suppress our our true power and our true nature. And sometimes, your true nature is to be feral and to just be freaking crazy and just like call things out on the moment. But you are holding yourself back and your personality back to be liked and to be loved. And it's like, I understand that, but we're not doing that because you're shrinking. And that's very disrespectful to God. I don't feel like God wants any of us to shrink. And from a very special organization that I was in, humbling yourself is shrinking yourself. And don't nobody got time for that. There's people out here, like, if you think that Beyonce is going on stage, or um Kendrick Lamar going on stage and they shrinking themselves and people like them for shrinking themselves, you got to completely twist it. People actually want to hear what you have to say, and see your originality and your personality and uniqueness and your quirks and your just everything. When you shrink, you step over your own boundaries. When you're playing small, you're stepping over your own boundaries. And that has helped me throughout these years, in just stepping into rooms and just showing my personality for who it is, no matter who's around, no matter if, like, oh, these people are just never gonna understand me, or like I feel like I just can't have these deep, mystical, psychological conversations with these people. That's all right. You'll be that one, because then people gonna think back at, oh, like we were in a room full of people wearing suits and ties, and Delaney came here with her big ass hair and she was wearing a polka dot dress. And I will never forget that because it's a core memory. See? You just gotta be that one, And then the last one, which I feel is the most simplest but the most powerful one, is to just pray about it, you know. Um, Especially since I reverted last year, it has made 1 full year. I have been praying a lot more, and my prayers have been much more intentional, and they change from season to season based off of what I am experiencing, what I feel like I need to just call for guidance on, and prayers work, man. Like, prayers, become a prayer warrior, like through anything, whether the good, the bad, the medium, the boring, the transition in your life. Like, pray through it, pray about it, pray for it. And yeah, you're going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot of truth. And it's just going to come to you. Like, when you're praying, you're speaking to God, you're speaking to Allah. And then when you're meditating, that's when you're listening. That's when you really tapping in and just listening to the messages. And whatever is that prominent thought, or like, let's say, hey, I feel like I should really speak to this person because what they did, didn't really sit well with me. That's something for you to do. So if you are, you know, thinking about, the boundaries and how you can speak up for yourself a little bit more, pray about it. Use those 3 things. Stop playing small, uh trust your intuition, and just pray about it. you know um you know your destiny more than anybody else, and it's okay if your journey looks a little bit different than anyone else's, because it's not meant for all of us to look the same. If someone tells you otherwise, it's just feedback, and you take it if you want to. And don't take shit personal either. That shit sucks. It has nothing to do with you. Your life is your life. And when you look at things in a more fun way, in a more light way, like, I look at life when these like small micro things come into my life, like a game of Mario. Like, I'm just like, oh, okay. I see I done elevated, and this is a new goblin demogorgon that's trying to come through. But I ain't having it. So just look at things light, when it comes to things like this. And You're gonna be all right. Always in all ways. Um, so that's all that I have for today. As I said, I am super tired, but I am never not gonna show up, for myself in these episodes and, for y'all as well. Like maybe somebody's really supposed to see this and just have a real reflection with themselves after this. So I'm gonna leave off with one journal prompt. This is just intuitively coming up right now. What would my life look like if I spoke my 110% authentic truth? What would my life look like if I spoke my 110% truth? So, if you have your journal, if you have your notepad on your phone, text it to yourself, write about it. Writing about it is a lot more powerful. It's like a spell. And just sit with it. Sit with, what comes up. And then also don't overthink about whatever comes up. Just let it flow. Let it flow like water. So yeah. This is the end of today's episode on Fana Talks. And I love and care for everyone that has tapped in so far with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you at another episode of Fana Talks.